Welcome back to the shop. My name is Mark. This is the BetsyRoss Jeep project. Happy Saturday. We are about to get as much done as we can. I'm going to start with pinning up that headliner in there, try to get that into the spot where we can at least get to the rest of the thing. Just try to get as much of this list done as I can. We'll see how far we get. I'm sure a lot of you XJ guys know that when you take this and you push the button, it should unlock your Jeep. But it will have to coincide with the circuit board that is on your headlight, your over console thing. This one came from a Jeep that I'm pretty sure worked with one of these circuit boards. When I say circuit board, I'm talking about that little guy right in there. It's above the light. These are all in pretty rough shape, if I'm honest, but they're all 20-some years old, made of plastic, so what do you expect, right? But what I'm trying to determine now is trying to figure out if this one goes to any of these and if it works. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the battery in the remote. Little slot in the side there. Just kind of pop it apart. And then we have a... oh no. I might not have the right battery type. Yeah, these are DLs. Dang it, I thought I had the right ones in stock here. We don't. Let's see if we can make something work. Okay, took my tester. I tested the batteries. They're both reading 3 volts, so I don't need to change them. I'll just use what's in there. So that means that if I can't get any of these to work, then it's almost certainly not the right combination of remote and circuit board. There's 2 3-volt batteries stuck in there. If we were changing them, I'd put new ones in, but like I said, I tested this. Tested it, so at least we know it's got remote. The buttons feel right. Everything seems like this should be a good functioning remote. I don't know where that key goes to, but I know where these buttons go to, and it's one of these guys. So what we'll do is we'll drop in there and I'll show you how to test it. Come on, give it, ah! Oh my. Okay, so you guys know that this light thing goes into the top up there. So what we'll do is we'll take this guy and we will plug it in there like that, and we will hit the button. See what happens. Nothing happens. Let's make sure this guy is working here. Let's plug this light thing in. And we have lights. That part is working. This looks like that's a pretty good center console thing, so make sure that's good. You might need to make sure the doors are closed. I don't think that's the case, but nothing. Okay, let's try the next one. There we go. Take 2. Alright. There we go. That's what we got. And so, this is our winner. Okay. There's our winner. 203-206. This is the one that works. We know because it has the tape on it and it says 203-206 there. Not the nicest of the panels. So this is also not the nicest of the panels. That is actually probably just going to go straight in the garbage. But this one looks pretty decent. Seems to have everything it needs to have. Honestly, I think that one will do the trick for what we want to do. We saw the lights working. So all we have to do now is we need to change this circuit board out from this one. So I'm going to take a tiny little screwdriver there and pop this guy out without damaging it, and then put this one in it. Okay, so now we've got the fob figured out. We know which light we're going to use in there. Curiosity has me going, I usually don't separate a key from its ignition unless I absolutely have to, so I'm not sure what this key is for. It's not for this Jeep. So I'm going to try to find the ignition for this guy. I think maybe it's right here. Yeah, okay. Alright, so this key goes to that ignition. So I'm going to take the key off of here, put it in that ignition, and then I'm going to take the fob and put it with the key in BetsyRoss. So put this guy over here, on there. That's for that. And then this guy here, put that in like that, and then push this little button here. Do it with one hand, so you guys sit there. I want to show you how you pull this thing out like this. Turn the key on, and then you push this button. Not tight in there. And you can pull that guy out, because sometimes back here in the back, there and in there, they break. So it's nice to have a spare or three, especially for these old ones. So that guy will go there. I'll salvage the rest of this for my spares pile. But this is what we were after. So here we go. We have now installed that piece in. Oh, here we go. So got the headliner in. This piece is in there. These guys holding in those two pieces. This front section is pretty good. I like this little clip here to hold it up, but that doesn't fit anymore. But this guy here is good. We have to put in our side pieces. We're still waiting on visors. Mara is going to get some of those visors and clean them and get them ready to go in. And I still have to do the back. So back there I have to get speakers and all the side panels and all the other stuff on there. But we're getting at it. I think it looks pretty good. If you weren't with us when we did that, I don't remember what episode number it was, but I'll put a link in the corner for when we recovered that. It's not ideal. We might have to take it back out and recover it again another time, because it's a two-piece fabric and it may not stay right. So it may not look perfect right now, but it was what we had when we had it, and there's always a chance that we try again. But for now, it looks good-ish, and I think it'll work. But here we go. We keep going. We'll let those dry a little bit, and we can start installing them. There's a few more pieces that we've got to pick out on interior pieces. The metal that runs along the top, on the sides over there. Come on. There's some metal that goes there and there, and then we got to pick out the two front pieces that go down the sides. That guy, which goes like that, passenger side. There's one of those over there for the driver's side. The issue with these is they always break. Always break. Probably for the past maybe 10 years or so, those have broken every time I've taken them out. So I end up usually just putting a screwdriver, putting a hole through it and a screw with a washer and a backer behind it. Sometimes maybe a riv nut to hold it in place. They're not super critical, but it does make it look nice in there when they're in there. Alright, on to the next thing. Well, those are drying. We'll keep going. We got this piece on the side. We have this piece across the top. This piece in there. That's properly holding this guy, so I can take these clips out now. And that means now we have a headliner. I can put speakers in. Those guys are drying, and I'm gonna go try to find the metal pieces that go across the top and see if I can get them clean. The plastic pieces from the front, they're still trying to dry. We're getting there. Right, I have what I believe to be the best of the metal pieces laid out here. Those are the leftovers. We have some that are bent, some that are rusty, so just not as good. These have some scratches in the paint, but overall they're in better shape. They're straight. Just a little bit of cleaning. They'll go along there and along there and along here and here. I did get the front sections in right here, so these guys are all in there and where they need to go, there and there. So we need to get the handles. Well, we'll put the handles in last. Mara's working on those, but I'm almost done with the plastics and the interior pieces. Need to clean some windows, clean the back of that seat still a little bit, and then I'm going to section up the carpet, and we're moving along. We're moving along. Oh, the headliner and the plastics around the top are all in. The only piece of plastic that I'm missing for the trim pieces right now is this guy right here. That's right there. I thought I had more of them. I searched around a bunch today, spent way too much time looking for it, but I can't find any other than that one. That one has like miscellaneous paint, scraps, scratches, scrapes, and is broken. But it's the only one that I have. It's kind of a commonly damaged part, so I don't really have any reason to hang on to them if they're, you know, kind of beat up. So I don't think that I have any. I'm still looking, but I don't think I have any more. So that one's going to be good enough. We'll put it in there. Maybe eventually we'll find one at a junkyard or something like that. It's not super critical, but that's what holds the carpet down in the back. So that's the only piece that I don't have yet, and Mara is still cleaning the grab handles, the O handles for the top. So those will go in, but the headliner is in. She is putting the fabric, new fabric, on the sun visors, so they'll be here shortly. Speakers are in, but we don't have the grills on them yet, so we're really close. Well, we are gaining. So I got a little bit done. Let me take you for a little ride here. We have the rear part of the back seat in. We have the headliner. We have one of the sun visors in. The other one is still being covered. The seat belt in the rear. The top parts of the seat belts are in. The bottom parts are receivers. They're still getting cleaned. I have the carpet ready to go in. So I'm cutting the carpet so that I don't have to take the plastic pieces out. So a lot of times plastic pieces, seats, seat belts, all that stuff has to come out if you want to take the carpet out. However, with these things, they have a tendency to leak inside them. They get water in there. One way or another, water gets in the floor, and that's part of what, in our area, Northeast, that's what part of what causes them to rot out. So water can get in down around here, get in there. There's a few different ways that it gets into the cabin and sits in the carpet, and the carpet then rots the floor out. So the idea is that if this thing gets wet, we pull the carpet out, we dry it out, put the carpet back in, and we don't have to take all the seats and plastic and everything out to do that. So what I like to do when I do that is the back carpet, I just cut that little strip off so it comes in through here. This is where the seat belts are going to be, here and here, so I don't have to worry about that. This will sit down in there pretty nicely, and the bottom seat will be over it. This one here will tuck in around the plastics. Same in the back here. We'll tuck in all that stuff. Sometimes I trim it down a little bit so that it's easier to tuck in, and then this back piece I put on last because it will actually pinch the carpet down so that it doesn't move around. So That's what I like to do for the back carpet. For the front carpet, it's a little bit more tedious of a process because you end up sectioning it around the seats, and then I leave the back part in a one piece. It's not as clean and tidy and quiet as the factory is, so if you're trying to keep it factory, go ahead and put the carpet back in the proper way before you put the seats in and before you put the plastic in. But I do this because most of the time when I'm working on a Jeep, it's because it had wet carpet, and it's because it's a wheeler or it's off-roading or something like that, and the owner, myself, or otherwise my dad or my uncle or my brother, various people that I've worked on Jeeps for, they want it that way so that they can also pull it out and dry it if they need to. So that's what we're doing right now, getting the carpet in there. I'm gonna tuck it in, and then I'm gonna move to the front. But I'm gonna do the center console first. So, but get the back one in done, and we're gaining. All the stuff that I cut off, and that's what it looks like once it's in. It's not quite perfectly flat, but it is good enough for government work. And then we fish it underneath the seat. You can see there's still some under there. If I wanted to lay that piece across there, I could, to keep noise or heat down. The bottom seat will cover that just fine. So onto the front. All right, it's time to talk about center console. This guy right here. Now, if you have an XJ and you've been around them for a long time, then you know these things are notoriously bad for staying steady, because you use them as an armrest. People in the back seat kick them and they just get loose like that. The reason for that is there's a little bracket in here like this. This bracket is supposed to look like this. So you can see the difference here. That is missing 2 parts. So I just happen to have one sitting around from a part out that I did that is still completely intact, and I knew that this was an issue, so I found it and I scooped it up and I stuffed it in parts bins. Over time, I've gotten to the point to realize that even like I'll put a new one in there, I'll put this one in there and it's perfectly good shape, but it will get destroyed. So there's a solution for that. This guy. This is a metal one that will sit in there. It just basically sits in the same spot as that. We will have to kind of be a little bit less than gentle to get our screws into those holes, but it should take a lot of that slop out of there and make the center console a slightly better thing to lean on, and maybe a little bit sturdier. So we're going to use that. I will probably put a link to this in the description down below. I found this one on Amazon. The original manufacturer of it is a company called JCR, I think. I don't remember who the original manufacturer is, but at some point China got a copy of it and copied it, and well, it's all over Amazon for half the price of what the original manufacturer was, and I hate that, but it is what it is, you know. So we're gonna put that in, then we're gonna put that in, and then we're gonna put. So yeah, here we go. We're gaining. All right, we have that bracket in there. That is good and solid. The other thing I like to do is I like to add a bunch of sound deadening material into this center section here, because again, that's the section of the carpet that I'm going to cut out and make it so that these can go in, and sometimes a little bit more heat can come up through that center. So we add a little bit of that. It's I don't know, some Amazon stuff. I'll find something on Amazon and put it in a link below in case you're interested in doing the same. But that's what we do there. Now I put the center console in, and then I'll go get the carpet and cut it so that the carpet will go in around the center console. So you don't have to take the center console out if you want to change the carpet. Once that guy's screwed in there tight, you can see there's very little play. That's nice and tight.
That is good. You can see that the insulation goes around below it, and then we'll bring the carpet in and kind of match that, and that'll help keep the heat down. Cleaning for me? All right. For the driver's side carpet, this is what I cut. I left this side the same. Sometimes I'll trim that if I really don't want to tuck it in, but I will tuck that in. This will go underneath, will kind of tuck around the seat, and then this will go around the side of the seat. But underneath the seat section is gone, and this has been trimmed down so that it should hopefully tuck into the center console, but be able to be removed without removing the center console. So let's see how we do. This guy, go underneath the pedals, kind of bring it around. Okay. There we go. And then this guy here will tuck. Might cut that off a little bit, but we'll see how well it tucks in there first. Yeah, I like to cut like an inch off of there. That's what it looks like with the carpet in there. You can see there's no carpet underneath the seat. We have not put carpeting in the back yet. I still have to section the rest of that out, but that's what it looks like. And it really kind of, you don't really notice that the carpet has been cut and sectioned to be removable. Looking for the next piece that's going to go in there. Ah, there they are. They don't match the color quite right, but I like me some good WeatherTech floor mats. So. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Just Jim Dandy. Alright, well that's going to be it for me for tonight. I gonna get back at this a little bit later. But probably not. Well, I don't know. I don't know when it's going to be next, but that's it for now. That's it for this video. We're making progress. We're gaining. Thanks everybody for thanks y'all for stopping out. We'll see you guys next time.